everybody. Good morning. Good morning. It is a fabulous Friday here. Oh my goodness. It is Friday, October 29th. It's almost Halloween. It's great to see everybody checking in. And today is...
Yay! We made it.
Yay! So good morning, everybody. I'm going to warn you right away that you might see some streaming problems this morning. We don't know whether it's the fact that Facebook is changing their name. We don't know if it's our software that we just updated here, but there may be some interruptions we were seeing. Maybe my voice is not moving with me. I don't know. So it's not probably you. It might be the universe out there.
Yes,
so I just want to say that. So if we do drop out, or if your internet drops out, know that we always post a recording, which will be uninterrupted, up on our Colourwerx YouTube channel later. So don't worry, don't fret. It's always up there for everybody. Good morning, everybody. It's episode number 45 of the Fab Friday program. And of course, it's almost Halloween. So boo, boo to you guys. Hello. Hello, everybody. Who's checking in from where, Carl?
Check in.
Who? Oh, good morning, Susan. How are you? And we have Suzanne Toby checking in. Good morning from Denver. And Lena. Hello, Lena.
Susan
Who else?
France.
Susan. Hello.
In France. Good evening.
Yes. Good evening. And Sandra's checking in. And we have our good friend Pat from Pinehurst is checking in.
Yes, there will be some great colors.
I hope so. We have lots of great colors back here. Is that Teddy saying?
Teddy.
Good morning, Teddy. And good morning, Kay from Palm Springs or Palm Desert. And Joy. And Nedra from Arizona we have. And then what does Elena say? Good afternoon. Oh, yes, it is afternoon in Florida, isn't it? I bet it's a gorgeous day in Florida. Anyway, good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Again, it's Fab Friday. Please like and share this with all of your friends, even if we are getting interrupted by our streaming. Who knows? Let us know what you're seeing out there, if it's looking okay. I just saw Jen checked in from Palm Springs. Hello, Jen. Sunny Palm Springs.
Sunny here
it's
today.
Beautiful weather, I must say. We are having what, like high 70s here in the desert.
Shall we say 90s?
Is it 90 today?
90s.
It doesn't really feel like it after you've been through 125 degrees. Let's put it that way. So anyway, hello, please like and share. Please go subscribe to our Colourwerx YouTube channel. We have kind of a jam-packed show today, and it's been a jam-packed month. I mean, really, we've put out new patterns, which we'll talk about in a minute. We've actually traveled to Austin, Texas, and been back for the filming of the Quilt Show with Alex Anderson and Ricky Timms, and we're going to have a little preview of that for you. And then we have a nice tutorial, which is this Wonky Pieced Table Runner, which will make an excellent holiday gift or something fast and fun to put on your table, which we're going to go through in just a minute. So let's see. Let's talk about last month's winner. As you know, last month, Carl, on episode number 44, did a fabulous tutorial. It was a paper piecing.
That was all right.
No, it wasn't. It was good. It was a fabulous tutorial about paper piecing, and he used the Topaz triangle template to show you what to do. So if you've never paper pieced, or you're going to venture into one of our new patterns, please check out episode 44 up on the Colourwerx YouTube channel. But we pick a winner every month to win a $10 Colourwerx gift card. And so, of course, we put all your comments in the random thingamajizer. And so last month's question was, will you paper piece? And again, the random thingamajizer picks the winner. So the winner for the $10 Colourwerx gift card is... Kathy Keevy. Congratulations. We'll get in touch with you via email with your Colourwerx gift card. Everybody stay tuned and make sure you comment below to enter a chance to win another gift card being given out next month for this month, if that makes sense. So I just want to let you know who's back here. This is the Mod Squad pattern that just came out, and you might recognize some familiar characters there from the 60s, 70s, or 80s. And of course, right behind me here is our Labyrinth pattern, which just came out. So let's talk about, if we can.
Good morning.
Hey, Julie, good morning. Carl really wants to say good morning to everybody.
Yeah, we haven't seen him for a while.
I know.
Kimberly,
it's been like 4 weeks. It feels like it's been like forever.
and Mary.
Oh, Mary, thank you for checking in. Hello.
Well, that's Mary's on the Central Coast.
Yes.
What are we doing today here at the Cactus Camp?
Oh, I forgot the Cactus Camp.
Oh. It froze.
It froze.
Because we took too long.
Well, you know, the cactus cam isn't really interesting right now anyway, because there's nobody golfing out there. They are reseeding, and it's beautiful green grass right now. So it looks gorgeous. We'll see if we can get that working, but I doubt it. This might be part of our restreaming problems, you know, or whatever is going on today with Facebook and Meta, Facebook, Ecamm. I don't know what's going on. So we'll see if everything works out. Let us know what it looks like out there, and then we'll try to correct those problems as we go forth with this particular program. Technical difficulties, perhaps. But let's talk about the new patterns in case you didn't see them quickly. So we did release 3 new patterns at the beginning of the month, October 1st. They are available on our Colourwerx website. You can buy all 3 and save if you'd like, or you can buy them individually in paper or PDF format. The first one we're going to talk about is called Labyrinth. So Labyrinth is a wonderful, fun, easy to piece quilt. It uses 12 half yards and then some background fabric. All the half yards get cut exactly the same way. The block is 1 block and it's all made exactly the same way. So it's a matter of just cutting your half yards and then mixing and combining different fabrics to make the combinations in the blocks. Super fun. And the next one is Mod Squad, which we had behind me. This is Carl designed this, and of course, like I said, you'll see some familiar faces in this quilt. You might recognize some of these stars or personalities from the 60s, 70s, or 80s, and they all have a name in the pattern. You can make pillows, tote bags, you can do a lap quilt, a wall hanging, or just a couple of the characters together just to make a fun kind of wall hanging if you want. But that is called Mod Squad. And the last one is Topaz. And this is a really nice, easy again to piece, looks complicated, but it's not, pattern. You have a little bit of foundation or paper piecing, which is what Carl did the tutorial on last month, which is episode 44 again, up on our Colourwerx YouTube channel. And then you also have precision piecing. So you have 2 different types of blocks you're making, and that's it. One is precision piecing, one is paper piecing, and then they go together in different fabric combinations to create this kind of jeweled-like, kind of, I don't know, glistening, jewelly, sparkly topaz-y effect that you see going on. And there's a couple different versions so you can see what it looks like in different types of fabric. So all 3 patterns are available now up on the website. Again, paper or PDF format are available, or you can buy all 3 in a pattern pack and save $2 off each pattern when you go up to the website there. So that is, like, we just had a little blip, it looked like. That is the new patterns. Now, the other thing we want to talk about is the Colourwerx fabrics, because a lot of people are asking, where are the Colourwerx fabrics? When are they going to come back in the shop? They are due to be back in November now. We think they might be in a port in Long Beach,
or on a street in Long Beach,
or on a. I guess they're like taking the containers off the ship. I read this article the other day. They're actually taking the containers off the ships in Long Beach or Los Angeles and actually putting them on the residential streets around the port because they don't have enough truckers to pick up the containers. So it could be in a residential street in Long Beach. I don't know. Oh. But anyway, Island Boutiques assures us it is coming in. It's on its way. It's due to come in sometime in November, 1st of November, they're saying. It was supposed to be October, but it got delayed slightly. So that is the update on Colourwerx fabrics. And of course, we'll let everybody know that when we actually get those fabrics here at the Design House. We'll be sure to let everybody know in a newsletter announcement or an Instagram or Facebook or Meta announcement, I guess. I don't know when we're supposed to be calling Facebook Meta, but oh, it looks like we had a little glitchy there, Julie says. I have this fear today as we go through from our test this morning that you may see some glitches. So know that it's not you. There's something else going on. Maybe it's the meta universe happening. I don't know. But okay, so let's go on to our exciting adventure to Austin, Texas. As you know, if you follow us on Facebook or Instagram, we were invited to do an episode of the Quilt Show with Alex Anderson and Ricky Timms, and we had to travel out to Austin, Texas to do the actual taping of the episode. So we have just a little slideshow of our adventures in case you hadn't caught up with us on the social media accounts, and it was super fun. I mean, this is just This is what I love doing. It's just super fun. I was doing 3 tutorial segments for the show, and Carl can hit the slideshow anytime. There's the website right there. But it's called thequiltshow.com. This is where you're going to find this episode. It's hosted by Alex Anderson and Ricky Timms. But this is the first photo that we wanted to show, which is the Mini Cooper. Because if you all know us, if you've ever seen us at a show, we travel in our Mini Cooper, and there it is, the silver Mini Cooper. And if it doesn't fit in the Mini Cooper, it doesn't go with us. So we put everything we needed for the show in the Mini Cooper. We traveled with a bunch of quilts, tools, a bunch of step outs for all the tutorials. And of course, our first stop was in Phoenix to the Cracker Barrel after coming out of Palm Desert here. The Cracker Barrel was hopping in Phoenix.
It was Christmas.
Well, yeah, it was Christmas was everywhere. We just thought it was fun to show that picture there. And so we finally made it to Austin, Texas. And I don't know why this particular picture up on our social media account, specifically Instagram, got 500 or 600 likes or something like that. We took the Mod Box quilt and we stuck it on the hotel bed in the hotel we were staying at because we thought it matched the artwork on the wall. But that just shows you quilts in hotels. I don't know. You guys have, we all have a fascination, I think, for quilts in hotel rooms, I think. So, and this is the location finally. So we made it to Austin, Texas, and Austin is an ever-growing city. Sorry, my voice is dry this morning. Ever-growing city. It's huge. The suburbs are all growing out around Austin. It's very busy. So this is one of the places that are outside of, per se, downtown
Lakeway.
Austin. And it's called Lakeway. And it's a beautiful, beautiful hill country with these huge houses that are built up on the hills, and some of them are overlooking the large man-made lakes around what is called Lakeway or hill country. And so this was the house that the Quilt Show had rented on location in Lakeway to do the taping of this particular week of episodes. There were about 6 of us, 6 artists that came in to the location, and they shot 2 shows a day. So this was what the house looked like. They had beautiful landscaping, and this is the back porch of the house. So we were fortunate enough that the day that we taped, there was low humidity, no heat, no wind really, and it was not very cold either. So we set up outside on the back decking of this lovely house, and this is where we shot the episode. And you can kind of see what's going on there. That's me with Ricky Timms and the cameraman, and Alex is off in the back like studying her script. And if we go to the next slide, you can see that this is how we set things up there. So Shelly, the producer, who's in the plaid shirt, very together. Oh, she had everything so organized and made it so easy to do these shows. So again, I did 3 different tutorials. I did wonky piecing, easy applique, and also using decorative stitches. And Carl set up all my samples for me. He would not be on camera, as always.
I'm behind the camera.
I know, he likes to be off camera. So here we are going through all the scenes first, and then we, wham, shot the scene. So it was like 1, 2, 3, you're done. You shoot the scenes. A little nerve-wracking, but actually the best way to do this. So again, we reviewed what we were going to do, and then we shot the scene really fast. So we were done in a matter of a couple hours, which was great. And that is a shot of the cameraman and
dressed for the occasion.
Things, yeah, dressed for the occasion in Colourwerx shirts. And then, of course, at the end of the episode, I presented Alex and Ricky, as well as the producers, Shelly and Lilo, some mod TV blocks that I had made specifically for them. So I had taken some pictures that I had found on the internet of Alex and Ricky and the shots of the Quilt Show TV episodes that I had found, printed them on photo fabric, and then appliqued them onto a mod TV block. And so I presented each one of these to Ricky and Alex, as well as to Shelly and Lilo. So that was super fun. Now the episode is going to air sometime in June of 2020. They're going to come out with a trailer, so we'll let you know as well when the trailer is available, which is like a teaser to the episode. And right below me is the Quilt Show website. So let me tell you a little bit about the Quilt Show website. So this is a website that Alex and Ricky host. It's the #1 quilting website that's out there on the internet. It is free to visit. You can get, you can view kind of some episodes that they make available free to you. It's also a wonderful quilting resource going on. So if you're looking for anything quilting, this is a great resource website. Alex also does her own tutorials on her Facebook page, which is the Quilt Show Facebook page. But it is also a subscription-based website. So if you become a member, which I would highly urge you to do, you get access to like block of the months, you get access to free patterns, and you get access to all these episodes that all of us have been filming for the last couple years. So our episode again is going to air sometime in June 2022, but you'll only be able to see it by becoming a member. So that is one of the things that I wanted to let you know. So again, it's called, where did it go, Carl?
Oh, you want it up again?
Yeah.
Okay.
There it is. So there it is. That's the quiltshow.com. Go check them out. And it's a wonderfully fun, creative, great resource for quilting. And Alex Anderson and Ricky Timms are fabulous. So it was really fun. And we'll have more on that later. So if there's no more questions, let's see what everybody's questioning. Money. Oh, it's you know, Sadie says how much? You can do a yearly subscription, I think, or you can do like 6-month subscriptions, and you can do monthly subscriptions. So depending on, of course, you get a break if you do a year, and I want to say it's somewhere in the neighborhood of like maybe $50 for the year, maybe $60 for the year. Monthly is like $12.99. And 6 months is like $24.99. Now, don't quote me on that. That was the last time I checked it. So I did like a 6-month membership, and I'll probably renew to do like, you know, yearly at that point. But it's a great website, and there's loads of episodes, absolutely loads and loads of different episodes with different artists teaching different techniques, as well as Alex gets on and does paper piecing tutorials and her block of the month tutorials and all that stuff. Pat Stack says, $49 for the year. There you go. So it's a great website, thequiltshow.com. Can't say enough great things about it. Just wanted to let you all know about our adventures. So we've had a very eventful month here in October, needless to say. We're going to start designing fabrics and more patterns for the months of November and December. So keep a lookout for that for spring. And with that, I want to jump right into, because time is going this morning, for this tutorial, which is the Wonky Pieced Table Runner. So super easy to make. You guys gave this so much love on the Instagram and Facebook that I thought it's a perfect tutorial to do for going into the holidays and things of that nature. So with that said, let's jump right over to the overhead. There it is. So what you're looking at, let me take a sip of water.
Please.
What you're looking at there is my usual Wonky Pieced building block. So if you've done any of our Mod Dogs, Mod Cats, Cosmos patterns, you know this piece pretty well. This is what you make in order to make a Mod Dog, a Mod Cat, or a Cosmos block. And what I mean by that is this is made usually out of 2.5-inch strips, or strips that you cut from your stash. And then once you have your Wonky Piece building block, you cut, you know, your Mod Dog, or you cut maybe or make a Cosmos block. This is 1/4 of a Cosmos block. Well, let's say you don't have any 2.5-inch strips. And that was my problem the other day when I made this table runner. I didn't have any 2.5-inch strips, but what I did have was a whole bunch of 10-inch squares left over from Kona Cotton layer cakes. And none of them really went together. I had kind of had color groups here and there, but I didn't have enough to do anything of substance like a lab quilt or anything bigger. So I had these orphaned, what I call orphaned 10-inch squares. And so basically what I did is I took my 10-inch squares, and when I set out to make this table runner, I looked at what I had left in my pile, my stash, and I thought, well, I can come up with 4 color groups to make this table runner. So what I did is I took the orphaned 10-inch squares. Now you might start with a charm pack or even just a full 10-inch stack together. And I divided them into color groups. So I came up with a green color group, a magenta color group, a blue color group, and also a purple color group. And in each one of these color groups, I simply stack stacked together tonal fabrics that matched each color group. So I put 3 or 4 greens together that I had left over, maybe 3 magentas, 3 blues, and 3 10-inch purple squares together. And then basically what I did, and again, remember, you can do this with a 5-inch charm pack, is I basically took together, let's start with blues. I took my blues that I had taken together from my orphaned 10-inch squares, and I wanted to cut these into 5-inch square. So I've got 3 tonal blues here. I just stacked them right sides together. No exactness here whatsoever. So we're just going to stack them right sides together, and we're going to actually chop this 10-inch square into 4 5-inch squares.
You're going to quarter it.
I'm going to quarter it. Now again, if you've got a charm pack at home, you wouldn't need to do this. You would skip this step. So I'm just going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I don't have to be particularly exact. There's that, and I'm going to go across there. Okay, now I've got, and you can see I've got them stacked. So I've got 3 layers here. Now I've got 4 5-inch squares from each one of these groups. Keeping tonal groups together, I'm just going to stack them up. So again, if you're starting with a charm pack, this is where you start. And so I've got this group now here, my 5-inch squares. I'm going to basically cut 3 strips from each of these stacks of 5-inch squares. And why 3 strips? Because I just think the thickness of that strip is easier to work with. So if I was really going to be exact, which I don't want to be exact because I'm wonky piecing here, I'm going to take 5-inch and I'm going to divide it by 3. So that's about 1 3/4 inches wide for each strip. Or just think to yourself that you've got to get 3 strips out of here. So you just slap your ruler on about 1 3/4 inches. Whoosh. Whoosh, remember you have to make that noise. Now I've got 3 strips from each one of my 5-inch stacks here. I'm going to do this over and over.
And they're not all really the same.
No, and I was just saying, notice I'm not being too exact here. I'm just going to make, I want to get 3 strips out of each one of my stacks. And there you go. So now I've just got a load of strips here. And they are 5 inches long by about 1 3/4 inches wide. Okay. Now, if you want to make them a little wider, you can, and only get 2 strips out of each 5-inch square. If you want to make them even thinner than this, meaning like make them 1 inch, you can do that. I find that harder to work with. So the first thing you're going to do in order to make a square, and we're going to be making, I'm just going to put this purple one here. We're going to be making that something that looks like this. This is basically 5 of these strips wonky pieced together and then squared down. So how do I start making something that looks like that? I'm going to take two strips. Notice that they're 2 different tones of colors, tones of blues. So you don't want to put 2 strips together that are exactly the same fabric. That's kind of obvious. And I'm going to wonky piece these together. How do I wonky piece these together? I'm going to actually put them right sides together. Now my solid has no right side, so they're both the right side. So I'm going to put it right sides together, and I'm going to angle from upper left to lower right. Notice how I put that on there. So again, not just straight pieced, I angled or skewed it. And then I'm going to sew right across this top strip, a straight seam. Now I'm going to switch colors on you, so I'm so sorry to do that, but I already had something set up. So we're going to switch. Pretend blue now just became green. So now, see, that is just sewn right across the top of that top strip, a 1/4 inch seam or even just a straight seam. It doesn't matter. I would cut the excess off. So before I go press this, I'm going to cut the excess off, and then I would press upward, just like you do a regular Mod Dog, mini Mod Dog or Mod Cat, if you've ever done any of these, but we're just doing it on a smaller scale. Then I would take my next strip, and I would skew it the opposite direction that this is going. So see how this is veering towards the right? This strip needs to veer towards the left, bottom edge. So again, I audition it, and when I like it, I just take it right sides together again like that, sew across the top edge, and when I start to put 5 together, I get something that looks really wonky like this. And why did I put 5 strips together? Well, this is where you have to do a little bit of math. In order to make the table runner, for me, for my dining room table, I knew that I wanted it to be about roughly 16 inches wide, and I knew I wanted it to be about 48 inches long. So I just really had to work out that math. So if I'm going to do 16 inches wide, I knew that these blocks probably had to finish at about 4 inches, which means that I knew that when I wonky pieced blocks together and then I needed to square them down, they probably had to be about an inch larger than that before I started to square them down, or 5 by 5. So I just kept adding strips, wonky piecing strips together, as you can see on the back there, and I'll bring that up to the camera. So I kept wonky strip piecing together until my block reached about 5 by 5 or a little under 5 by 5. I just needed to be able to square it down to 4.5 by 4.5, which then once it got pieced together, these would end up being 4 inches, because they lose a 1/4 inch on either side. And that gives me my 16-inch wide table runner by however long I needed it to be. So once you get 5 strips together, that's what I did, you just square it down. So I've just got my square ruler here. I basically am going to square it down to 4.5 by 4.5, and you can see it right here, 4.5 by 4.5. And you just whoosh. Again, you have to make that noise, whoosh. Just square it down to a nice, beautiful, squared down 4.5 by 4.5 inch square. Okay, and you can square these blocks down to whatever size you want them to be. It's up to you. As long as you're squaring everybody down to the same common denominator, you will be good to go. So here's some blocks I have made already that were left over, and they're all 4.5 by 4.5. And you can see from the table runner now, when I put it up there, I had to make, again, a little math. I'm going 4 across by 12 long, because that gives me my 48 inches. So I needed to make 48 total blocks to make this table runner, or 12 blocks of each color group. So I made 12 blue, 12 magenta, 12 green, 12 purple. Total gives me 48 blocks. That means I go 4 across for 16 inches wide by 12 blocks this way, and that gives me my 48 inches wide. And because everybody was squared down to a common denominator after I wonky pieced, you can see I just started taking my blocks and putting them in some type of fun, formation here as I went through. Then I just pieced the table runner normally, right? And went along and quilted it with a serpentine stitch in a gridded fashion. And I'll bring that up to the camera a little bit so you can see that a little closer. This table runner literally took an afternoon of piecing to do the blocks, so super fast, because you just get into that mood, that feng shui way with your wonky piecing. And then I just quilted it the next day and with the serpentine stitch, and I used like a scrap of 108 inch that I had on the back. So this binding fabric everybody loves. Oh, look at that thread. Binding fabric is Allison Glass Spectrum Feathers. So if you like that binding fabric, you can probably find it at your local quilting store or online. Allison Glass from Andover Fabrics, Spectrum Feathers. It goes great with any kind of rainbow quilt or color wheel block quilt like this. Again, you can do whatever you want with these 4.5 inch squares when you're done. You could make a pillow. So I could have easily taken this and only done a 4 by 4 formation, if you will, like that, and made a fun set of pillows that would be 4 across by 4 up. I could make placemats if I wanted to. I could have made the table runner 3 high, which would be 12 inches wide by whatever inch long. It's whatever your imagination takes you. But that is the way to wonky piece if you have an extra charm pack hanging around, or orphaned layer cakes, or you just want to cut from your stash a selection of 10-inch squares or 5-inch squares. That's the way to do it to make a little table runner like this for the holidays, which is super fun. So with that, if there's any questions, let me know. Well, are we going back to the cactus cam? Do you think it's working?
Get you back to the table.
No, it's still not working. Look at that.
No,
well, let me know in the comments if you guys have any questions. And if we're streaming okay, I have no idea.
There you go, fixing your hair.
Oh, I'm fixing my hair live on the TV. Hello. Until Carl turns the monitor around, I can't see a thing. So
Well, now you can.
Oh, now I can. Okay,
It's the big
so
thing in front
if
of you.
anybody has any questions, just put them in the comments there. Again, we're going to do a giveaway for a $10 Colourwerx gift card for you guys. So, are we doing comments first?
Yeah.
Oh, April says, love the quilting on this. Yes, I did too. That was so super easy. I used Superior Thread, King Tut, variegated thread. So in case you were wondering why it was changing colors, that's Superior Thread's King Tut, which is great. And Pat says, love the backing fabric. Yes, that's a Robert Kaufman 108-inch backing fabric that we had hanging around. Nedra says, very cute. Thank you, Nedra. And Julie says, love your wonky piecing. Yes, so fun and so easy. It is. And so, you know, wonky piecing, no templates, no wedge rulers. You don't need any of that stuff at your house. Just skew from right to left, meaning SKEW, angle the strips from right to left. They can become whatever you want them to be. They could be rectangles if you square them down. They could be 3.5 by 3.5 inch squares. If you make the strips longer and larger, they could be 6.5 by 6.5 inch squares. It's whatever you want it to be. Just make sure they're all squared down to the same common denominator, same size, basically. Anybody else?
Well, Debbie,
Debbie.
winky piecing. It could be winky piecing.
Winky piecing.
It could be.
But that's wonky piecing. We know that. And Mary says, wonky piecing is so much fun, easy, and always looks great. It does. It always looks rather, I hate to say it like this, it looks rather artsy and modern without really being artsy and modern. It doesn't take that much time. So it's always fun. And of course, you know, I love to cut applique shapes for my wonky piecing.
Susan's going to make holiday ones with
Oh, good. Suzanne says she already has some ideas of holiday fabric. Yeah, it would look great. If you have an extra charm pack hanging in your stash, just take the charm pack and divide it into color groups. You know, put the squares, each square into a different color group or a different pattern group, and then just stack them up like that and start cutting 3 strips from each one of those 5-inch squares, and then just start wonky piecing, and then just square it down. It's that simple. So we have a question for you. So will you be stitching for the holidays? That is our question this month to win a $10 Colourwerx gift card. What is it? Oh, what are you sewing up for the holidays? Sorry. What are you sewing up for the holidays?
Oh, we know Susanna has some ideas.
Yes. So let us know if you're sewing or stitching anything up for the holidays. Of course, everybody who comments during the show goes into the random thingamajizer for the $10 Colourwerx gift card. So we will be back. First, I want to wish you a happy Halloween. Secondly, we'll be back in 3 weeks on November 19th, Friday, 10 a.m., November 19th. We thought about coming on the Friday before Thanksgiving, but then we thought, no, everybody's going to be busy. So, and we wanted to take the Thanksgiving holiday off too. So we'll be back the week before Thanksgiving, November 19th. Make a note. Anything else, Carl, before we bug out?
We were streaming it in France.
Oh, wow. Really?
So at least we were streaming it
Maybe
in France.
it's our internet connections that's having a problem here. I don't know. Anybody else? Let's see. April says cozy bowls. Ooh. Oh, I'd like to see that, April. That sounds interesting. Oh, these are what everybody is stitching for the holiday. Oh my God, where have I been?
Where have you? Yeah,
I need a break.
To get out of here.
I know it is. All right, you guys. So we are going to bug out of here. I want to wish you happy Halloween, everybody, and also happy Colourwerx quilting. Always, we always appreciate you guys showing up for us on the Friday here, and we will see you back again for another exciting episode of Fab Friday on Friday, November 19th. Take care, and thank you so much.
Halloween.
Happy Halloween.